We're staged for another run of nitro-fueled NHRA talk. It's The Straight Line, presented by O'Reilly Auto Parts, with Marty Hough and 10-time NHRA winner Doug Herbert. Brought to you by Hercules Tires. Now, here are your hosts, Doug and Marty.
This is The Straight Line on Drag Racing. Thanks for stopping by our half-hour horsepower. Appreciate you being with us. History will be made this weekend at the U.S. Nationals as 3 generations of one family will race against each other in a professional class. Today we'll talk with Johnny, Shane, and Tanner Gray before the big go at Indy. We're in the beams and set to launch another edition of The Straight Line. Wherever you may be, coast to coast around the world, this is The Straight Line on Drag Racing at MRN.com, along with 4-time IHRA Top Fuel Champion and 10-time NHRA National Event winner Doug Herbert. I am Marty Hough, and we are getting ready for the big go, the U.S. Nationals at Indianapolis. And Doug, we're going to see a little bit of history this weekend with 3 generations in one class competing against each other.
Well, that's a big race at Indy, and these guys, I'll tell you what, how impressive has their Pro Stock team been this year? Yeah. Pretty darn impressive, I'll tell you what. And, they're doing stuff in-house. They're also working with Drew Skillman's team, which he's won some races too. So overall, man, they're the ones to beat right now. So really pretty excited about seeing them going into Indy. And Indy is the big deal. Everybody puts a little bit of extra effort into Indy. I heard cars over here at ZMAX Dragway the last few days testing and doing some running over there, a lot of Pro Stock cars. So interested to see what's going to happen there. And 3 guys, I'm interested to talk to them and see what their how their ideal scenario might play out at Indy with the Pro Stock cars.
No question. And so on the phone lines with us right now are all 3 generations of the Grays: Johnny Gray, Shane Gray, Tanner Gray. Guys, thanks for joining us. We really appreciate it. And I'll start with Johnny. How did this come about, and how was this pitched to you?
I don't even remember now. Shane was kind of wanting to run at Charlotte. He mentioned it, and was kind of wanting to run at Charlotte, and I don't remember, something come up, and we decided not to. And first one thing led to another, and finally I tell you what, I'll agree to do it at Indy. So that's kind of how it all got developed, and yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun. Yeah.
Hey Johnny, you're the leader of this clan, and I've seen you win quite a few races over the years, and you're kind of part of a special group that's won Wallies and Alcohol Dragster, Alcohol Funny Car, Nitro Car, and maybe even Comp Eliminator. Right? You've won. Tell us a little bit about some of your wins over all these years, and now kind of passing the torch on to your son and grandson.
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, we had a little luck in the alcohol dragsters, alcohol funny cars, and had a pretty good run there in the fuel funny cars and everything. And just I always told Terry when I turned 60 I'd get out, so I did. And the kids have been playing with the Pro Stock cars. And then Tanner came in and kind of showed Shane and I. We hadn't really been doing a very good job. He's doing a great job.
Hey, is Shane, I mean, we can talk about all 3 of you racing all at the same time, but anybody is talking out there wants to talk about burnouts. And now we've got a whole burnout contest because of you. Let's talk about that for a second, how this all started at Brainerd with the long smoky burnouts. For those that did not see, during the Brainerd weekend, Shane was out in competing and doing these big, long, smoky burnouts. How did this start, and what was the purpose behind it?
Well, I don't know. We just we took the other car to Brainerd to kind of test a little bit and break a few sets of tires in and maybe race a little bit. So that's basically all we were doing was breaking tires in. We'd put another set of tires on it every round. So, after about 2 of them, Graham Light came over and asked me not to stop. The crowd was loving it. So we continued to break tires in and do burnouts, and then in Q4 we didn't have anything to lose, so we were on a single run. So hell, we just decided to do a dry hop too.
That's funny. And usually when Graham Light comes over and talks to you, Shane, it's not necessarily good.
Yeah.
So for Graham to come over and say, "Hey, good job, do that some more," that's kind of had to be a little surprise.
Yeah. No, he was pretty excited about what we were doing. He said the crowd was really enjoying it and getting into it. So, hell, anything we can do to get the crowd enjoyed, into pro stock, I guess we need to look at it maybe more than once.
Well, do you have any idea that it was going to kind of turn into as big of a thing as it has now with NHRA doing the Battle of the Burnout competition and getting, some free tires and a little bit of money? And that's pretty cool. Pretty cool that you instigated that, and now it's kind of turned into a big deal. Yeah.
No, I guess, I don't know. I guess we'll have to go to Indy and get the $5,000 from them.
Yeah, pretty awesome. Hey, so next question here for Tanner. And we've talked to you a couple times this year, Tanner, but coming into the year, you've got to be pretty impressed. I know your dad and your grandfather, I've known both of them for quite a while, and you've made it look kind of easy, and your grandpa even kind of said, you're showing us how to do it. But boy, I'll tell you what, I think they set a pretty good stage for you, but you've been taking every advantage of every opportunity, it seems like.
Yeah, absolutely. They've given me the best equipment I could ask for, so they've definitely made my job a lot easier, and they've both taught me how to do it. So I've had some pretty good teachers along the way. I mean, it definitely hasn't been easy, but they made it a lot easier for me.
Question here, I guess this is for Johnny. I saw somewhere that the name of the racing team, or the nickname for the racing team, is SKI Racing, and then, well, what does SKI mean?
Well, it stands for Spending Kids Inheritance.
I love that.
And there's going to be a lot spent at Indy this weekend, I'll guarantee you, with 3 of them on the track. When we return, we will have more with the Gray family, Johnny, Shane, and Tanner Gray, who will all be competing at the U.S. Nationals, coming up next, right after this.
When your battery goes dead, everything can come to a stop. Don't take a chance on getting stranded. Stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts and get your battery tested free of charge. If your battery does need to be replaced, O'Reilly Auto Parts can help you find the exact Superstart battery that fits your car or truck at a guaranteed low price. O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I'm Steve Letarte, STP auto expert and former crew chief. I know what it takes to keep engines performing at their best. STP's latest breakthrough additive, STP Ultra 5-in-1 plus Fuel System Cleaner plus Fuel Stabilizer, delivers 3 times the amount of cleaning agents versus premium gasoline and helps keep fuel fresh during storage. For over 60 years, STP has been on the cutting edge developing products to help engines run better, longer.
One bottle contains 3 times by weight the amount of cleaning agents compared to 20 gallons of the leading premium gasoline.
Are you ready?
To help children forget about their serious medical conditions so they can just be a kid. Then support Victory Junction, which is the dream of late race driver Adam Petty, who wanted to build a camp where children concentrate on fun and laughter, not illness or disability. At Victory Junction, kids enjoy ziplining, horseback riding, swimming, fishing, all in a medically safe environment, all at no cost to the camper. What do you say, Richard Petty?
Let's do this.
Learn more at victoryjunction.org.
Welcome back to The Straight Line, brought to you by O'Reilly Auto Parts. Here's more with Marty Hough and Doug Herbert.
Thanks for being with us here on MRN.com and The Straight Line. Still with us on the phone line, Johnny, Shane, and Tanner Gray, who will be competing against each other at Indianapolis at the U.S. Nationals this weekend. And Johnny, we were just talking to Shane about him breaking out the second car to kind of get some get a couple of laps underneath it. So where's this third car coming from? Are you getting the buckets of bolts behind the shed somewhere?
I thought I was, but yesterday that thing laid down a pretty nice lap out there. So I backed up and took a look at it and said, well, I guess they gave me some of the good stuff here. But
with 3 of you racing, you can't all be in the final over there. Oh, I'm sorry.
it's an older car, but it's pretty fast.
That's pretty exciting stuff. And with two team cars, you could say, well, our ideal scenario is to both get to the final. With 3 team cars, what's your ideal scenario over there in Indy? I'm not sure which one of you guys wants to answer that one, or if you talked about that yet.
Well, I guess the ideal scenario would be to have all 3 of our cars in the semis. So
right.
And maybe Skillman. So.
Oh, there you go. I didn't think about that. Yeah.
Yep.
All 4 of you in the semis, qualifying 1 through 4, sweep.
Yeah, and then somebody from our engine, Gray Motorsports, is going to win.
Yep.
Right.
I might need a little help here, guys. Somebody that's maybe 20, 30 years younger than me is going to have to get in there and let the clutch out.
No, I think you remember how to do that. I think there's a little sandbagging going on here.
No, I can still drive the car, but it's and the car is fast. It's but I think I'm in a little trouble in the left foot department here. But it is what it is. We're going out there to have a good time.
Yeah, well, because that grandkid is, if you ain't in the teens and leaving off the light, you're probably getting left on.
Yeah, well, if I got to be in the teens, well, all I know do is just count to 2 and let the clutch out, see what happens. See if it was the right time or not. Because,
yeah, right.
I can't compete with these kids anymore.
Yeah, I hear you, Tanner. I know you've competed against your dad and run rounds against him. When it comes down time, and if you have to compete against your dad again, which side of the lanes is your mom going to be on?
I'd have to assume probably stand in the middle, but
okay.
I mean, I don't know. I guess it just depends on the situation, but no, I'd have to say she probably stands in the middle. I mean, I think that's what she's always done. Obviously I can't see back there, but I think that's probably what she would do.
And Tanner, this means a lot to you, not only because it's the U.S. Nationals, but you're also running for a championship here. So, I mean, we can talk about all the happy moments here with the Gray family, but at some point in time, you've got to get a bunch of points in here to get as many to going to Charlotte as you can, running for the countdown. So there's got to be maybe 2 sides that you're kind of crossed on as far as hey, having a good time, but we're here to get a lot of points and do the best we can, right?
Yeah, absolutely. When we go there, we're definitely going there to win, and this will be a good race to win out, not only because it's U.S. Nationals, but you get those extra half points. So it'll be definitely important to go there and collect those, and just try to continue to set yourself up good for the time when the countdown starts. So,
hey, and with all 3 of you guys racing at Indy, have you given this any thought? Is this something that we're going to see again, or is this a one-time deal?
I'm going to have to say it's probably a one-time deal.
Oh boy. Okay. Well.
But I said probably.
Well, one thing we know you know how to win, and we know you like racing.
No, when I quit, they said, "Are you retiring?" And I said, "I'll never retire. I'm just going to quit."
Yeah.
So.
Shane, you've won the U.S. Nationals back in 2014. Coming back here, what does this mean to you when you're able to come back as a U.S. Nationals winner?
Well, I mean, I could only hope for Tanner to win it, and add to his points and add to his resume. It's a big deal to win the U.S. Nationals. I think I've seen my dad runner up twice there in Fuel Funny Car, and just missed it by a little bit. And I mean, there's got to be a lot of luck on your side and whatnot, but it's just I guess at the end of the day, it's just another race.
Hey, so between the 3 of you guys, you own quite a few Wallies. do they all reside in one trophy room, or do you guys all have your own separate trophy rooms?
Well,
I don't even have a trophy room yet.
Yeah. Well, Tanner's trophies are about to overtake mine, so
we're trying to figure out how big a trophy room we're going to have to build Tanner here. We'll see how he does.
Hopefully you have to build an addition on the shop.
It's a nice problem to have.
There you go.
Yeah, exactly.
Not a problem.
yeah.
Well, great job, you guys, and really think it's going to be exciting going into the U.S. National. I think a lot of people will be looking forward to that, and a lot of the excitement will be brought on because of the burnout competition that you started up here at Brainerd. So pretty exciting stuff, and great job this year for the entire Gray Motorsports team. You guys are really on it.
Yep. Well, we appreciate you having us.
Johnny, Shane, and Tanner Gray all competing this weekend at the U.S. Nationals. History being made. This is the first time that this has ever happened in a professional class, and we're really looking forward to it. All three of you guys, thank you very much for your time. We know it's a really, really busy time, obviously heading into the U.S. Nationals. We appreciate the time that you're giving here to the straight line, and good luck at the big go, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Appreciate you being on.
Take
Yeah,
it easy
thanks,
on your
fellas.
dad here.
Appreciate,
You got to
appreciate
give.
you having us. Appreciate it, Doug.
Thank you guys. Be sure and give a little bit of respect to your elders there too. You know.
Yeah, right.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. That's the Gray Clan joining us on the straight line. This is really going to be fun because obviously they're all competitors. And it sounds like there's already being a little ribbing back and forth. Johnny Gray probably sandbagging a little bit. Oh, I can't get off the line. I don't know what to do. I can't even remember how to let the clutch out. Come on. I mean, when it comes down time and he gets to that stage and he's ready to go, he'll be ready to rock and roll.
Well, I think he'll be just fine, and it'll actually be probably a little bit of extra motivation for him, I would think. Having,
sure.
Racing against his son or his grandson, he's going to want to say, "Yeah, you remember." How the old man got you there. And, I always had that a little bit. I had some fun with Connie Coletta. Every time racing Connie Coletta over the years, he'd come over, look at the old man, I got you. And I got a feeling that that's a little bit of the fun thing that these guys are going to do. Obviously, Johnny has, the biggest part of his interest is seeing his grandson probably win the championship, as you've mentioned with them on the show. I think that's got to be, if not the highest priority, one of the highest priorities. That would be an incredible feat by that team. Really, I mean, they started that team only 7-8 years ago.
Yeah, right.
And for them to go up and be at the level they are right now, really, they're I guess they're the dominant team in pro stock racing, where KB has been there for a long time. Other people over the years, obviously. Pretty impressive list, right? Warren Johnson, Bob Glidden.
Yep.
If they can accomplish that feat, that'd be quite incredible.
Yeah. It's going to be really interesting to see how they treat the U.S. Nationals. As Shane said, their priority is to get as many points as possible and to see as good of outcome as possible in the U.S. Nationals for Tanner to go into the countdown with. And they're looking championship. I mean, they're not about winning races anymore. There's a championship, the big Wally.
Well, that comes after the Indy probably, but I would think at Indy, we've seen them race each other pretty hard. You wonder if it comes down to, team. I mean, these things happen, right, at teams.
Yeah, right.
You wonder what would happen there. If I had to guess, I would think at Indy they're going to go up there and race. I doubt.
I doubt
that.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, I would.
We want Tanner to jump up in the spot, but what? Grandpa wants to win the race. So
if Johnny Gray ended up winning the U.S. Nationals on a one-time deal, that would be all anybody wanted to talk about for weeks, maybe months after that. That would be incredible. Shane Gray, he's won his U.S. Nationals, and he's kind of been there, done that. But for the kid to do that, or for Grandpa to do that, the burnout contest would be one thing. Johnny Gray winning the U.S. Nationals on a one-shot deal, that would be really cool. You mentioned Connie Coletta. We're going to have some news about Coletta Motorsports, and if you're a drag racing fan, you probably already heard about it. We'll talk about that a little bit more after this break here on